armed patrols, 24/7 video surveillance, infrared heat detectors, magnetic field sensors, a lock with over 100 million combinations. The Antwerp vault, buried 2 floors below Belgium's diamond district, was believed to be impossible to break into. Yet on a seemingly normal Monday morning, the Antwerp Royal Diamond Center concierge arrived to find the unthinkable. The inside of the vault was completely ransacked. $100 million worth of diamonds were gone without a trace. A man sits at a cafe in the center of the diamond district. He sips his coffee, watching the steady flow of diamond traders and wealthy clients. Suddenly, a Jewish dealer emerges from the crowd. He asks the man to go on a walk with him to discuss a business proposal. As the two men left the busy district, the dealer turns to the man. To most people, this question would seem completely absurd, but the man was unfazed. His name is Leonardo Notarbartolo, one of the world's most skilled jewel thieves. He had lived in the diamond district for over a year at this point and had been presenting himself as a charming Italian gem importer. However, this was just a cover for his life as a thief. The Jewish dealer that had just approached him was a trusted buyer of his stolen gems and had just offered Leonardo 100,000 euros to plan the greatest heist of the century. Leonardo was reluctant at first. He knew how many security measures stood between him and the vault. However, the dealer offered to pay him just to scout out the vault, and Leonardo agreed. Using a pen with a hidden camera and a tenant access card, he scouted the lower floors of the diamond district, taking pictures of every detail. The data he had gathered proved his theory. The vault was impenetrable. Thick concrete walls and a 3-ton vault door prevented any way of entering through brute force. Dozens of sensors and security cameras would detect the slightest disturbance, and the state-of-the-art lock had over 100 million combinations. Leonardo showed the evidence to the dealer and collected his payment. Leonardo thought this would be the end of the story, but 5 months later, the dealer asked him to meet at an abandoned warehouse. When he arrived, he saw the dealer with 3 men and a perfect replica of the vault, made based on the photos he had taken. The dealer had assembled a small team of talented criminals. The first of the 3 men was nicknamed the Genius, an expert in security who could disable any alarm. The second man was nicknamed the Monster, as he was a jack of all trades, whether that be driving, picking locks, or hacking electronics. The last member was strangely an old man. Despite his age, he would play one of the most important roles in the heist. You see, in addition to the combination lock, the vault also required a foot-long key to open, and the old man, nicknamed the King of Keys, was given the seemingly impossible task of duplicating it. Over the next months, the team would meticulously practice breaking into the vault, honing their movements and memorizing the heist down to every last detail. Leonardo installed a tiny camera on the ceiling of the room which the vault was in, recording the combination as it was being used, as well as the dimensions of the key. After a year of preparation, they were more than ready. They weren't just pulling off a heist, they were making history. It was a quiet Sunday night. Most were distracted by the Diamond District's annual tennis tournament, and the building was completely vacant, the perfect time to strike. The men stepped out of a rented car and sneaked in through the balcony using a ladder they had hidden in the garden. Inside, the building was pitch black, so they could only rely on their muscle memory and planning. They were immediately greeted by thermal motion sensors capable of detecting the slightest body heat. Normally, the sensors would have detected the men, causing law enforcement to arrive in minutes. However, the men simply walked up to the sensors without a single alarm being set off. It turns out Leonardo had sneakily disabled them using hairspray a day earlier while he was making a deposit. The thin layer it formed would insulate the sensor and make them unable to detect heat. As they moved deeper into the darkness, the monster reached up into the ceiling panels and began rerouting the system's wiring. In moments, the security in the building was rendered completely useless. Finally, the genius approached the last line of defense, the magnetic field sensor guarding the vault. Without hesitation, he reached into his pocket and carefully placed a sheet of aluminum over the sensor, allowing them to open the safe without it triggering. After successfully breaking into one of the world's most secure diamond vaults, the men began to shove millions of dollars worth of diamonds into their duffel bags. In just a few hours, they had emptied 123 of the 160 safe deposit boxes. Then they quickly made an escape in the car of Leonardo's friend, Spds. It would seem like they had gotten away with one of the greatest heists of the century. They had calculated their every move and had taken every precaution to leave no trace behind. However, it would only take one small mistake to cause their entire plan to fall apart. After driving a good distance away from the Diamond District, Leonardo tells Spds to pull over so they can burn the gloves they had used. However, Spds suddenly begins to panic, worrying that the police are already on their tail. Leonardo tries to calm him down, but Spds continues to panic and starts haphazardly throwing out everything they have in the car. The next day, the police find a strange pile of junk on the side of the highway. There were random papers, documents, diamonds, and a half-eaten sandwich. Piecing together the evidence, detectives easily connect the pile of litter to the diamond heist. After analyzing the sandwich, investigators found Leonardo's DNA and subsequently arrested him. Despite having captured the mastermind behind the heist, his accomplices' names and whereabouts are still unknown to this day. Additionally, the $100 million in diamonds was never recovered.